Welcome to the Time Treadmill. I'm Ron, and these are my sweaty thoughts about Doctor Who. This morning I started watching my single favorite First Doctor story, Marco Polo. It is the story that absolutely cemented my love for pure historicals. The problem with watching Marco Polo is that, well, it doesn't exist anymore. If you're not familiar, there are, at current count, 96 episodes of Doctor Who that are completely lost. During this era when Doctor Who was being produced, the BBC didn't see any value in keeping archival copies of television programs. There was no profit to be made from it. In fact, there was money to be lost because of the storage fees and the value of the actual tapes themselves. So routinely, television programs would either be binned or wiped and recorded over in order to be used for other programs. In fact, you know what? Rather than me trying to explain it, let me give you a link in the description below to a fantastic series of videos done by Josh Snares, where he goes into great detail on how each of the stories were lost and where the prints went and what chances there are of them ever being recovered. It's an incredible series and I highly recommend it. But the bottom line is, not only is Marco Polo gone, but so is this one, and that one, and the other one, and I mean, all of these episodes are completely missing. So with all of the, hold on. With all of these episodes missing, how did I possibly watch Marco Polo this morning? Well, it's because although the video is lost, there is actually existing audio for every single missing episode of Doctor Who. In addition to the audio, there are also existing photographs of the episode. In the case of Marco Polo, there is an incredible collection of full-color photographs that showed just how gorgeous this story truly was. And so what I watched this morning was reconstructions of the first two episodes of Marco Polo, lovingly created by Loose Cannon Productions. And in fact, they're amazing. I'm going to put a link to them in the description below as well. I absolutely recommend you check them out and support them. They have done a fantastic job of resurrecting stories that were thought to be completely lost. What really kills me about Marco Polo is that it is, as I've said, my single favorite First Doctor story, and the odds of it ever being recovered are just about zero, which is ironic because there were more prints of that created than any other First Doctor story. They were shipped all over the world, and every single one of them has been lost. On top of that, although there's been a recent trend of the BBC reconstructing complete stories using animation, there are budgetary limitations on how they pick and choose which stories they choose to recreate. In the case of Marco Polo, it's almost certainly at the bottom of the list of stories to be recreated through animation by the BBC. And that's because of the sheer number of locations and the number of on-screen characters throughout the course of the story. There's certain budgetary constraints in how to build out these animated reconstructions, and what figures heavily into it is how many backgrounds have to be painted and how many distinct characters have to be animated. With Marco Polo having such a sweeping story, crossing all the way from the roof of the world to the court of Kublai Khan, it is a lot. It's a lot to reconstruct. So I don't expect that it will ever be done. I hope I'm proven wrong, though. So anyway, that's everything I have to say about the missing episodes. Tune in tomorrow and I'll talk about this story itself and why I adore it so much. I'll see you then.